Hello, this is Ed, and welcome to my current teaching corner. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that I am a autistic support classroom teacher for a group of preschoolers in the Philadelphia area. And right now we are in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and today is May 1st, 2020. So we are pretty deep into it here. And so I just wanted to share a great resource for people that were looking for updates on how law is being changed in Pennsylvania and also in other states. And this resource is called Education Commission of the States, and that's ecs.org. And it provides a very interactive digital map per the US that you can click on each state and see any updates in legislation in your individual state regarding education and this COVID-19 pandemic. And on top of that, it provides a lot of resources in terms of legislation being changed in other categories other than this current pandemic. So Education Commissions of the States, ecs.org is a great resource in general. And so I want to just talk about Pennsylvania for those that don't know exactly what were required or what was required of the state or what the state is mandating on districts. And comparatively to other states, we have only put up 2 official bills, and I'm looking at my notes here. We have PA State Bill 751, which was on March 27th, 2020, as well as another bill on April 20th, State Bill 841. And the first one is a lot more extensive. It just talks about some general changes that you might be expecting. It allows the Secretary of Education to waive or adjust the required amount of days, as we've heard. It extends or waives various professional development requirements for teachers, requires an application to the federal government to waive national test requirements. So it's saying that the Secretary of Education needs to file for a request to the federal government in order to waive the states. We're requiring our Secretary of Education to do that. Otherwise, that is the only way we can negate these state testings is through the federal government. So it's mandating that it is mandating that our Secretary of Education file for that application. And the other very specific requirement is that we provide maintenance staff and other professionals the required PPE by CDC, so it's making sure that people are getting the proper care. There's some other vague mentionings of good faith effort for providing education to students. So if people are wondering what are we actually required to do as a state or a district, that's basically all it says, is you need to put in a good faith effort for providing education. And it also says employees may not receive more or less compensation. So talking about if your status in terms of how much you're making is changing, this is something that's addressed within this first bill. And the second bill is a lot less. It just talks about providing extensions to businesses to contribute to educational scholarships, as well as allowing schools to renegotiating contracts for various administrative reasonings or equipment, busing contracts, I'm assuming. So the Education Commission of the States is really a great resource to find out about what your state is doing, or if you want to see a little bit more detail of what Pennsylvania was. I just gave a brief summary of what I saw listed on there. We only have 2 bills, but plenty of states have a lot more specific requirements to be fulfilled. So that's the Education Commissions of the States, ECS. I'll leave it linked for people to see. And so I hope everyone's coping well. I hope you're taking time to love yourself and not stress out too much during these really challenging times. This is Ed.